Richie Dotson with Acoustic Box again, and I want to go over some chord theory. Don't, no, I know, I said the T word. It's, don't go. Come back. Shh, it's all good. As my friend Bill Keith over here in these two posters, we did a wonderful workshop together back February 2005, I think. Bill Keith used to say, Richie, it's not theory, it's fact, and I can prove it. It's really math. Oh, God, no, I said math. Come back. Math on a basic level. Nothing hard. Real easy. Theory, math. Don't be scared. Come back. So, what we got here is, I'm going to start with the old Earl Scruggs C7. And I'm going to raise that by a half step. Half step, that's 1 fret. Raise, I'm going up the neck. Wait a minute. I hear so many people say, up the neck meaning this way. It's not that way. It's okay if you know what they mean, be polite. This is up. Up because you're going higher. Down, you're going lower. So, to get that out of the way, that way if I say something that says up or down, you'll know which way I'm going. I know in a cardinal direction this is downhill, right? It's okay. But this is up and this is down. Now that that's out of the way, we're going to raise this by a whole step. Nope. Half step. But if we were raising anything by a whole step, it would be the distance of 2 frets. Whole step, 2 frets. Half step, 1 fret. You got that? This is up, this is down. Now, raise this by a half step or 1 fret. Wow, that's a pretty cool sound, but it's not a C sharp 7th. But why? This is where that little basic math theory thing comes in. So, what we have in this particular 2-finger shape, which is the index finger at the 2nd fret of the index finger on the 2nd string at the 5th fret, pinky on the 8th fret of the 1st string. And Earl did this backward, forward, backward thing, which was really cool. Added some audible texture, if you will. So, I like the sound of that, and I use it quite often because it takes a little practice to get used to it, and I'm proud that I can still do it. Hey, but this shape is derived from this. That's a C. So, and what a C chord or any major chord, vanilla chord, plain chord, something that's not a minor, not a 7th, not an augmented, not a diminished, not etc., only has 3 notes in it. Well, you say, Richie, you got a 5th string hanging out there free, and you've got 4 strings, that's 5 strings. You're a liar. No, I'm not. So, we are repeating some notes here. We got root, 3rd, 5th. What is he talking about? Well, that's the 1st, 3rd, 5th note of a C major scale. So, what does that mean? If you will go through this as if it were do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now you know what I'm going for. Oh, well, those do through do are numbered 1 through 8. Now, that 1 or the root is 1. You're beginning, right? 1, 3, 5. Well, that's only 3 notes. Well, the truth is, these two are an octave apart. Now, let's go over the meaning of octave. Octave, derived from Latin word octo, it means 8. How many notes were in that major scale? There were 8. So, that just means octave, 8. So, it also means double the frequency or half the frequency. So, this note is half the frequency of this, double the frequency of this note. Well, because your 1st and 4th strings are tuned to a D note, if you're in standard G tuning, and your 3rd and 5th strings are tuned to G notes in different octaves. So this is double the frequency of this. This is double the frequency of this. Make it simple. Don't go all engineer on me, okay? It's all right. It's not that complicated. So now that you know that, this shape, fifth, first, third, fifth, or do, mi, so, do, so, and so down. So it's an octave below. But there's another little note here that provides a lot of tension, doesn't it? There's a lot of tension. It begs you to do something. We'll get into that maybe later lesson. But what happens is you've got a root, third, fifth, flatted seventh note. Let me go over that. Out of this, do, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, why don't we use the seventh note in a seventh chord? Because it would turn out to be a major seventh. Do. Different kind of chord, different kind of sound, rarely used in this particular, rarely used in genres banjos are most closely associated with. So, that being said, we're going to flatten that seventh note. We're going to take that seventh note down a half step or 1 fret. So what you wind up with is, remember, root, third, fifth, that fifth note is a G. This open fifth string is a G. So you've got the third note, the flatted seventh note, and the fifth note. Now this is an abbreviated version because technically you need a root, third, fifth, and a flatted seventh note to play a full chord. We don't always do full former chords on banjo. So, that being said, now you know why this is a C7. Why is this a G7 instead of a C sharp 7? We'll get into some chord substitutions. No, we won't. So we're going to keep this simple. There's more than one answer, but this is the answer I'm going to give you. This happens to be the flatted seventh note of a G scale. Do, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, flatted seventh. That's that F note that you need to incorporate into the G. And that happens to be on this string, and we are using this string. So what's this note? This note is the third note of a G scale. Remember, all three of these shapes have to have a root, a third, and a fifth. And this one's root, thirds. Remember, anything you play on the first string is going to be reflected on the fourth string an octave down when fretted at the same interval. And this one is, in fact, all three of these shapes, no matter where you move them, the first and the fourth string in standard G tuning and playing major chords are an octave apart because you're fretting them at the same interval. So, maybe a lot to digest, but watch it over. So you got this flatted seventh note, third note of the scale, and a G, of course, is the first note of a G scale. So that, this tonic, or one, or root note, is dropped by a whole step. This is the third note of a G scale. This is the tonic or the root note of the G scale. So you got flatted seventh, third, root note. That whole shape looks like this if you play it out. So this, because you're dropping this tonic by a whole step to produce that, you get a little Chinese fire drill or a Cherokee fire drill if you're me. Doesn't matter. So, this is a G7, from G to G7. So that is the best explanation I can come up with, long-winded as it is, about why is this a C7 and this a G7. Enjoy. I hope you learned something. If you didn't, watch it a couple of times. You will.